Hello, teas and cakes, and anyone who's watching. I know I'm a little bit late with this, but here's my wrapping up 2021 video. It is time to sum up the year 2021 and give you a little bit of an outlook for 2022. So, at first, I want to look at what my goals for 2021 were. And I have to admit that throughout the year I didn't really keep track of them, which is probably not the best idea when you set goals in the first place, but oh well, I'll do better this year, hopefully. The goals that I set for 2021 were actually quite vague, so they are a little bit difficult to check on after the fact, but I'll try my best. My primary goal was to chill more, read more, and rest more, because I basically burned myself out the year before. And I guess I have to say at the same time I failed this goal as well as I didn't fail it. I still had times when I felt really burned out, but at the same time I also recognized when I was burned out and tried to work against that, as in, immediately took a break and focused on myself and, doing things that are not work related. I still think there's a lot of room for improvement there, and I will try this year to not even get to the point where I feel so terribly exhausted that I have to take time off. But, you live and learn. My other goal was to be able to live from my art. And while I didn't really reach that goal either, I feel like I made a pretty big step in the right direction. I started seeing a business coach and working on ideas on how to make a living from what I do or what I love to do. And I feel like I might succeed this year with this. I'll get to that later in the video. So let's have a look at what happened in 2021. We started our own private Discord server for anyone who supports me on either Patreon or Twitch. And even though it's not very busy, it's become a cozy little place for nerdery and all kinds of shenanigans. And of course our D&T time, which is my next point. We switched from the tea time streams where I basically was just arting or sometimes gaming and talking to you and not having that much interaction as I wanted it to be, to D&T time, and we started having monthly roleplay sessions where we play mage, and I actually can't believe I didn't think of doing that earlier. Props go to Adrian and the Coffee Cult server for this idea. A not so fun thing that happened in 2021 was that my partner's recording studio drowned in the heavy rains that happened over the summer, and it set back some of our plans quite a lot, which is a shame, but nothing we can really change or do anything about. So half the year was kind of spent renovating the thing on the weekends. To kind of still be able to do some of the recording that I wanted to do, I set up this, which is basically my own little vocal booth around my desk. It's actually nothing more than just some heavy theater fabric around my desk. But maybe I will show you a picture or something of it if I have a good one. But you know, you gotta work with what you have. In any case, all of this meant a lot of extra work for mostly for him, but for me as well. So some of the plans just didn't really work out for 2021. Achievements. Regardless, I managed to at least get some things done. I made a core set. I started working on the Bedtime Stories album. We had our first little gig with Hold. I wrote a musical piece for someone else. I set up, as I mentioned, this vocal booth around my desk, and I started doing practice cam videos. I went to 2 conventions, and for the first time was able to cover the basic costs of said convention, which has never happened before. And I also signed up with Art Nights, which will hopefully help me to generate a regular income as an artist, and get some exposure overall, and help me reach my goals, hopefully. To be honest, I wasn't really aware of how much I did in the last year before I started preparing this video. It kind of felt like I didn't do as much, but, looking at it as I've written it down, it's more than I thought it would be. So I guess that's a good thing. Now let's crunch in some more or less interesting numbers just to give you an idea of where I started and what I achieved. I went from 12 to 17 patrons over the year, and I more than doubled my pledges on there. I created 15 pieces of original art and got commissioned to make 10 plus 1 song. I made 152 posts to Patreon overall in the year 2021, and I sold 100 items on my Etsy shop as well, ever since I opened the shop there. We had 4 D&T time sessions, in which we managed to travel to other dimensions, discover haunted tapes, and even blow up one evil Santa Claus. I think that's the most interesting numbers for the year that I can come up with. So, that was last year. What's up for 2022? '21 was just as unpredictable as the year before, and I guess we're all just getting used to it eventually. It didn't feel as chaotic to me as the year before, but maybe that's really just because that's how it be. In any case, I don't feel half as frustrated as I did by the end of 2020. And I feel like I actually accomplished something, so that's a big plus. What I take away from this is that, for one thing, I'll start this year just the same as I did last year, which is just by doing sketches and studies for the entire month of January instead of working on any actual art piece. Because I noticed over the course of the year that it helped me a lot to increase my speed and my skill with working with references and everything. So it's kind of like a warm-up for the entire year. It was good, so I'll do that again. Besides this, of course, my biggest plan is to start doing art nights. Actually, as I'm recording this video, I already made an appointment for tomorrow with an artist who's been doing them for I don't know, many years already. And she's just invited me to go to one of her shows and just help her out as an assistant and see how it goes. And then I will hopefully start doing my own art nights soon, in a few weeks, and we'll see how that goes. Other goals will be to release songs with my music project. For one thing, I have Hold going on, and we definitely want to finish our first whole song by February. So yeah, and we kind of want to keep that going over the years. So we definitely want to publish a few songs. I will let you know when we do. And other than that, I will, of course, be working on the bedtime stories a little bit more again. I already started working on the second short story, and gathering ideas for the songs that I want to be on there. It's my plan to finish this thing this year. Smaller goals will be to make another core set over the course of the year at some point. It's a little bit difficult right now because we really are lacking the space right now with the studio renovation and everything. But I hope that I will get the opportunity to set up my entire sewing table and everything at some point this year to make another core set. I want to do more practice cams. Obviously, if it's possible, we would like to play some gigs. Maybe even online if actual live gigs aren't, doable. But we'll see about that. And another goal I have that is entirely unrelated to any artsy project that I'm involved in is that I would like to go on a week-long hike. So the thing is, I've been planning to do this for, I don't know, probably 2 years now. Basically, I had the idea shortly before the entire pandemic hit. And that was probably the worst timing for it because everything felt so really unstable, and you never knew. You couldn't plan anything like that. You can't plan to stay overnight anywhere, for example, which is probably the biggest problem. And so at this point, I'm feeling like there are not that many excuses anymore to keep postponing the entire thing, because vaccines are here, people are getting vaccinated, there are rules being set up. You can get tests on top of that as well. So I feel like, at this point it might be doable. And so I already started doing my research and looking into it and how to prepare a thing like that. I hope this will be something that will also give me a lot of rest from the world as well as creative input. Right. The plans that I made for this year are way more solid and not as vague as the ones that I made the year before. And I can actually, put check marks behind them. I'm well aware that I may not be able to end up checking all of these boxes by the end of the year, but, that's not the idea. The idea is to give me a goal to work towards too, and even if I only reach 70% of something, then, that's fair enough, but I did my best, and try again next year. So, that's it for me. I've been talking for quite a long time now. I didn't mean this to be that long, actually. But, yeah. Thank you for all your support throughout the last year and all the support you will be giving me this year. Thank you for, just being around. Thank you for giving me the feeling of being appreciated. As with every year, I struggle to find the right words to thank you guys. Some of you have been supporting me ever since I set up my Patreon now, and it's kind of mind-blowing to know that, you know, you throw each month some of your hard-earned money at me just to hear me sit down for 20 minutes and talk about my goals for the year and stuff like that, and look at my messy sketches and everything. So I'm really grateful. So yeah, thank you. Do let me know about your plans and motivations for this year. I'm really curious to know. And in any case, I hope you have a great start into, or already had a great start into the new year. And I cross my fingers that this year will be better for all of us than the past two, and less chaotic and less pandemic and everything. And again, thank you. Stay safe. Be kind to yourselves. I love you. Bye bye.